Linares in for Carolina Sarasa. It's been 5 days since the mass shooting in El Paso. New details and questions are still emerging about the shooting suspect, that man accused of killing 22 people at a Walmart on Saturday. He's currently being held in a 7 by 11 foot cell separate from other inmates. Rafael Rodriguez has the latest on this investigation. Walmart is pledging a $400,000 donation to help victims of the mass shooting in El Paso. The company tonight, producer Nidia Cavazos joins me now to discuss. Thanks for being with us again, Nidia. And I understand several people that work for Real America actually had the opportunity of going to El Paso to meet with many families of the victims. How are they doing? How are they coping with the entire situation there? It's just a nightmare.
That's right, Andrea. Well, our team sent out to El Paso directly after this, right after this shooting happened. And we spent several days talking with the people who were inside the Walmart, family members of the victims, and even residents in Mexico who say they now live in fear of shootings in the U.S. And we've seen for the past couple of days how this community has come together, and now they're calling for gun control. Let's take a look at tonight's preview. Are very emotional, and sometimes it's difficult to hear them out, but it's also very important that their stories are being told. Now tonight we'll have a complete recap of Saturday's
Yeah, as you said, there are stories that we need to tell, but we wish we never had to tell them because it's just so horrific.
That's right.
Thank you once again. And meanwhile, President Trump is back in Washington after traveling to El Paso and Dayton, Ohio on Wednesday. The president met with shooting victims and first responders in both cities, but some residents and lawmakers were in disagreement with his visit, blaming Trump for inciting division. President Trump has said that he will bring lawmakers back to Washington from their August recess if Republicans and Democrats can more closely align on a gun reform proposal. And with us to talk about the president's visit to El Paso is the city's manager, Tommy Gonzalez. Tommy, thanks so much for joining us today. And CNN is now reporting that according to their sources, the Trump administration has been rejecting efforts to prioritize domestic terror threats like those from white supremacists for more than a year. Sources say that for stricter gun control measures are growing louder, but tensions remain in many states between gun rights advocates and those demanding reform. That's the situation playing out now in Minnesota, where the governor has said he is willing to sign gun control legislation into law this week to help curb and prevent the types of violence we're increasingly seeing. Mariti Marungi has more. State Senator Gazelka said they are looking for solutions that work and have bipartisan support, but he gave no indication of scheduling a hearing on gun bills. Meanwhile, more than 200 mayors, including two anguished by mass shootings in Texas and Ohio, are urging the Senate to return to the Capitol to... And there's much more... And welcome back. While all eyes were on President Trump during his visit to Dayton, Ohio and El Paso, Texas, immigration officials conducted a record-setting raid in Mississippi. Almost 7 is in Morton with the very latest. Evident that the community there is going through a very rough time, and it's also very difficult to listen to the testimonies of those young children after everything they went through yesterday. Luckily, they can tell the story that their mother is back home with them. So hopefully Salvador Duran will keep us posted regarding the situation there in Mississippi after all these ICE raids. And in other news, it's official. Wanda Vasquez is the new governor of Puerto Rico, the island's third in less than a week. She was sworn. Administration's war on immigration continues. State Department data has revealed that the number of immigrant visas granted to Mexicans plummeted in the past year. As Claudia Uceda reports, that drop in visa approvals may be by design.
Shows that countries like India, Pakistan, Dominican Republic, and Haiti were also affected by these visa denials.
Email Claudia Uceda, Unews.
California, where police say a man went on a stabbing spree on Wednesday, 2 hours after his alleged attacks began. 4 people were left dead. Carolina Sarasa has the story. This incident remains under investigation by both the Garden Grove and Santa Ana police departments. And coming up next, the death called muses, often referred to as the third gender in the state of Oaxaca, a community that defines what many people for generations have thought of as traditional gender roles. Natalia Meneses went to learn more about how a muse collective is helping make a difference.
In 2017, many believed here was the end of the world. An 8.2 magnitude earthquake, the strongest one in the past century, destroyed thousands of homes and the municipal palace.
Questions are mounting about vaping. The FDA now investigating reports of 127 people having seizures after using e-cigarettes, many of them teens or young adults. Grecia Lastra has all the alarming details. Expanding access to a promising but costly treatment, Medicare said it will cover a breakthrough gene therapy that revs up a patient's own immune cells to destroy malignancies. Medicare will cover. Actor Danny Trejo is being celebrated today, not for a new movie role, but for a heroic moment after the beloved actor helped save a young child trapped in an overturned vehicle. Miriam Arias has this incredible story.
The accident is still under investigation, but after making sure everyone was okay, the actor did share some advice for drivers and for parents. Always pay attention in order to avoid similar situations. Now, social media has been all about the 75-year-old's heroic actions. Users are calling him a legend, a hero, and they're wondering if there's anything that he can't do.
Basically, he's a real-life superhero at this point.
At this point, I pretty much think he is. But I do want to talk to you about something. It is Thursday, so we want to have a little bit of a throwback Thursday. Now, do you remember the movie Home Alone?
Of course, one of my favorites.
Who doesn't know that movie? That definitely was one of mine. Now, Disney has plans to remake it, and it's obviously a classic from the premiering, or who the cast will be, unfortunately. Now, I do want to say that Macaulay Culkin, which of course was the star in the original movie, did share a photo, and he put in the caption,
in the house to trap, the robbers nowadays with so much technology.
He'd definitely get a little bit more creative, I think.
All right, so we would definitely love to hear from everyone that is watching what their take is on this remake. If they would like it, they would watch.
Definitely.
Really?
Let us know on Instagram, send us a message. And now, staying on this Throwback Thursday, now hundreds of Beatle fans have come together today in order to, in front of the man, remember them.
After so many years, they continue to influence everyone. Amazing what they've done. All right, well, thanks so much, Miriam. We have run out of time. Thanks so much for watching.